Well, hi America. Now I thought 2 days before the election, I thought I'd drop in my 2 cents about this. I'm sorry, by the way, because, okay, outside your country, Europe, which we're still part of until Theresa May finally activates Article 50, hint, the rest of the world, I mean, my country is actually dedicating two channels, BBC and ITV, who are, one is a publicly owned TV company, the other one isn't, they can pay through advertisements, and it's dedicating basically the entire day and night to your election. Because we are watching you. Much like Big Brother. The way I personally feel about America is, I like you guys. You're, compared to Europe, or even my own country, you're pretty young. And we've always kept an eye on you. I mean, 1776, suddenly you grew and evolved into this world power, and you were a bunch of colonies who thought, we don't want to be British or be under British rule anymore. We want to be our United States, and you succeeded. I mean, you regrouped and you kicked our asses. Here you go. I'm honest. I mean, 4th of July, you celebrate your Independence Day, and good for you. I mean, you really showed stuff. A lot of stuff in the States over the years have never really made sense. It's such a massive country. I mean, the fact is you've got to fly from one end of it to the other, unlike the UK where you really don't. It's a beautiful, organised chaos world of 50 states, 50 different rules. Some good, some bad. I believe good always outweighs the bad. I believe each generation evolves from the previous one. And I believe change is good. However, your president is important. Everyone is looking at your president. And unlike previous ones, like, okay, John McCain, he was a decorated war hero and he showed his stuff during the war. And he was a very strong, he's very outspoken. And well, obviously I'm not American, doesn't matter who I'd ever vote for, but, you know, he knew his own tactics and he knew his own mind. And I expected that. He didn't win, obviously, but hey, he put up a good fight and, well, Obama got in. This one is Mitt Romney, member of a Mormon, a Latter-day Saint, which in this country we don't really understand Mormonism very much, or the only exposure we ever had is South Park, or Orgasmo, or anything Matt and Trey have done. And actually, a friend of mine who is Mormon said that they actually don't mind these interpretations of their faith because it's the way of getting it out there. I thought Mormonism was made up for South Park. I didn't realise it was real. So, however, 2 days' time we get to pick your new president, and it's between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And it's quite funny. When they say anyone can become president, I didn't realise they were meant anyone could become president. Even these two people. Now, British, or still European, perspective on this is you've got to pick between these two. And I'm sorry, because they are so unlikable. Both of them are so unlikable. For me, watching this, and obviously we receive the media, and the media always has their own agenda. It's kind of like between CNN, which is like the Clinton News Network, and Fox News, and in this country it's BBC and ITV and anything else you read online, and the newspapers. Everyone has their own agenda. But both of them, from what I've been reading, come across as so unlikable. No, there's no charisma, sometimes there's no professionalism. When you watch their live debates, it suddenly descends into a slanging match. People bringing up each other's past, people bringing up Hillary's track record when it comes to secure documents, Trump's womanizing, Hillary's, yeah, okay, fine, we've all seen it. The fact is that she humiliated a victim of assault during the 70s. That stuff being dredged up, the past being dredged up. There's so unlikable moments. The head of a country, okay, the president of the United States, and it descended into playground farce, slanging matches and insults instead of one thing. I was just hoping is if just one of them, and it didn't matter at the end, turned around and said, oh, let's talk policy. We never got that. Instead, we got, well, I've got this recording of Donald Trump saying this back, whatever. And Trump's like, well, I've got this of Hillary passing out. It's like, children. Children in the playground. Now, I'm not going to say who anyone should vote for. What the hell right do I have as a Brit? I don't have any right. That is your vote, okay? Take it from me. I've been voting. Well, I was too young to vote in the Blair years, if you will. I was too young to vote for that. By I was 17, so I had to wait till I was 21 to vote. And sometimes whoever I vote for has not got in. Sometimes that they have. Okay, it makes a difference. I mean, Theresa May is currently our Prime Minister. We never voted for her. She is now Prime Minister. However, no one voted for John Major, and but later on he was voted in on his own accord. So sometimes it's because you didn't pick the right person for the job. Nothing's going to change in your day to day. I mean, Theresa May is my Prime Minister, but to be honest, nothing has really changed from when David Cameron was in Downing Street. See, so people just scaremongering, this fearmongering. What will happen? Nothing. Nothing will happen. Nothing straight away. And the thing is, one thing I hate is about these elections, and everyone has to admit this. None of these promises are going to come true, are they? None of them. Every single 4 years, they say the same old shit. We're going to do this. We're going to strengthen our borders. We're going to abolish this system. We're going to help poor students with universities. We're going to improve the national, we're going to raise the national debt. We're going to create jobs. Does that normally happen? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. They are telling you exactly what you want to hear. Not they want to hear. They are saying whatever you want to hear. Our politicians do it as well. Sometimes they... Some laptop's flashing. Let me just close it. They are sometimes talking to the lowest common denominator. Our prime ministers. Sometimes they're talking to people with the mentality of a sun reader. Best insult I could ever have. I'm half Liverpudlian, and if anyone who knows the Sun and Liverpool, you know what I'm talking about. They're talking to that kind of mentality. I mean, come on. Donald Trump said, we're going to build a border from dividing Mexico from the USA, and Mexico's going to build it. Are you mad? How's that going to happen? And Mexico's going to build it. Mexico has turned around and said, no, we're not. What are they going to do? They can't force Mexico to build this wall. I mean, the Berlin Wall was built in pretty good speed, actually. That took like a year or slightly less to build. But that was a little bit different, okay? And that was a pretty good wall, to be honest. I remember it falling, and I've actually been to Berlin. So that, I don't even see that happening. Now, what I really, really do wish in America would adopt, now, 50 states, 50 different laws, okay? But sometimes things that really bother me. I mean, about your country. Now, your country is marvellous. Every American I've ever met has been wonderful. I have absolutely no beef with America. But some things from a British perspective don't make sense to us. Okay, this is an example. 3 years ago I had an accident, and I now have metal in my right foot. I had to learn to walk on it all over again. My first video ever on YouTube is me walking up the stairs, and it took me about 6 months to get to that point. I have metal holding my right foot together. I have arthritis coming. I didn't have to worry one bit when the doctor came, when I was in hospital, and say to me, we need to operate on your foot again, because I have paid into the National Health Service since I was 16 years old. I worked since I was 16. So I didn't have to worry about how much it would cost me. To me, it's that one thing I would love America to adopt, and I don't see how. I mean, there was that Malcolm Moore documentary, Sicko, that tried to explain it. You pay your taxes. You are a hard-working nation. Why do you not have universal health care? Where do your taxes go if they're not going to benefit you? Our taxes pay for our schools. They pay for our fire service. They pay for our nurses. Well, they contribute to our nurses. Our National Health Service. I don't have to worry about, the cost of medication, because medication is normally set at a fixed rate. And sometimes when I go pick up medication, my doctor said to me, you don't have to get this, you can buy this much, much cheaper. See? no one's really trying to swindle you. I mean, our NHS has a habit of being abused. People come over and don't pay our bills, but if you pay into the system, you should get healthcare. Why don't you? That is one thing I would love to see America adopting. I mean, there was that whole Obamacare issue which regards work, and I'm not really sure how Obamacare works. It was a little bit vague. But why can't you have universal healthcare? What is holding America back from that? Now, if someone could actually promise that in 4 years, hey, you've got some progress. It just seems such a shame how other countries enjoy a better standard of quality of life than you guys do. Long-term maternity, women get 7 months off work. Men get some time off work too, to spend time with their significant others, wives or partners. What's stopping that from happening? Sometimes, okay, you can't compare the United States, because you are a capitalist country, to a socialist country, which is what we are. But sometimes I think you kind of need to look outside the box. Now, regarding who you should vote for, just because the wrong person or the person you don't vote for gets in, it will not be the end of the world. Okay? Every single campaign promise I've ever made which you don't agree with, they're not going to say, I'm president, we have to rush it in. It has to be argued in Congress. And that can take a very long time. Sometimes they need 2 terms to get it. And remember, if the wrong person got in, or people don't like the person, hey, it's 4 years. You can cope with that. Alright? So it is not the end of the world in 2 days' time. So please, because I've seen it on the internet. I've seen fights break out. I've seen all these clips on YouTube between Trump supporters and Hillary supporters. And everyone goes on about Hillary being, oh, if she wins, she'll be the first female president of the United States. See, sometimes your gender should come into it. Your gender should not come into who's the president. It's the person who can do the job. So, regardless of their ethnicity, their gender, it shouldn't make any blind bit of difference. And then there's the Republicans. Republicans aren't the enemy. The Republicans have never really been the enemy. Some say, hey, you know, look at Lincoln. He was a Republican. So, intelligent debate is better than any slanging match, and that's what I really hope you get for your next president. That's all I hope, because whatever happens, well, you're going to be stuck with it for the next 4 years. I'm guessing it happens, of course. So anyway, message from the UK. You're going to be fine. Alright? I might do a follow-up video in, obviously, maybe next Thursday or Friday when the results are in. And until then, just vote for who you want to vote for. Your politics. Don't let anyone sway your vote. That's yours. Okay? Sign off, YouTubers. From the UK to the USA. Bye now.